I recently got my hands on this power bank from a company called Glydcharge. Not only is this a power bank, but it serves as a power station as well to power lighting equipment and small appliances. It features a rated capacity of 7 to 800 mAh with 99 watt hours. This will allow you to take this power bank as a carry-on item onto an airplane as it still meets FAA standards for lithium-ion power banks. It also has a remote control which turns on and off the DC and USB Type-A ports. This power bank is a great device for outdoor activities like camping. It can also charge devices like smartphones, laptop computers, and more with this USB Type-C port, which provides 65 watts of power. This power bank also doubles as a power station to power on and off devices via the DC and USB-A ports. The box is very basic with features and specifications listed around it. Inside is the power bank, which is nicely protected, and a box which includes a USB-C cable for charging the unit itself and charging other devices. It also comes with some information on how to use the device, the remote control, and a DC extension cable. The device does have good weight to it, just a little more than 2 pounds. It feels really sturdy and has a single button and LEDs at the front along with the USB-C, DC, and USB-A ports. There is also a sticker on the unit on how to operate the device. Since there is a single button on the unit, it is important to reference the paper that came with the unit as it has instructions on how to use this device. Of course, pressing the button once will display the charge level and will allow you to charge via USB-C. Pressing the power button once and holding it down for another 3 seconds will power the device permanently to use the DC and USB-A ports. And pressing and holding the button will shut off the device. The remote controls both the DC and USB-A ports, which is ideal for small appliances and devices that require power from USB to operate. Not exactly intended for charging devices, even though you can charge devices off these ports, it's just not practical to charge a device by turning on and off the charge via remote. A more practical scenario is if you have devices that require USB for power, but instead of turning them off from the device itself, you can use the remote to do that. Maybe you have your kid's nightlight connected and you want to turn it off. Or maybe you have some string lights that can benefit from the remote control. As mentioned earlier, the remote controls both the DC and USB-A ports. The DC port provides 12 volts, so it won't be able to charge or power even a small netbook. Yeah, a netbook. Remember these things? But for powering on and off a device via the remote control, it makes perfect sense. For more modern devices that have USB-C, you can charge laptops with this power bank as well. That's very nice. Just be mindful that the USB-C port is separate from the other 2 ports, meaning if the device is powered on via the remote control, the USB-C port will not have power. However, if the power bank is off and you plug in a device into the USB-C port, the device will begin to charge. This is also the same with the USB-A port and likely the DC port as well. All ports will be powered on if the power bank is off and you plug something in. If you power the device via the remote, only the DC and USB-A ports have power and USB-C will not. To charge via USB-C, you will have to turn off the power bank, then plug in a USB-C device. Then the USB-C port and the other 2 ports will have power. Remember, this is when you are not using the remote. The sticker has a bit of broken English, but I believe the first point says to press the button once to activate standby mode and remote control mode. Then the instruction says it is not possible to charge using the USB-C port while the remote control is used, which I have verified just earlier. However, when pressing the button once, I was still able to plug in a USB-C device to the charger and it worked. Even though it is supposed to be in remote control mode when it should not be possible to charge via USB-C, which is a bit confusing. I spent additional time the last couple of weeks testing to better understand when the ports should or should not have power. I feel an average user will have difficulty getting familiar to these features. Although the power station with the remote control feature is great, there is quite a bit of a learning curve. Another thing is I find charging a larger device, like a laptop, very unreliable. Since the USB-C port is bidirectional, it may fight against another device that has a USB-C that can also input and output power too. That means the devices have to know who is charging who. In this case, I want the Glydcharge power bank to charge this laptop, but the lights do blink oddly and can't stop charging after a few minutes, which is really unreliable. The power bank may even start charging off the laptop itself. But for charging smaller devices that are meant to only receive power via USB-C, it works perfectly fine. This does seem like an issue with how the USB-C standard works, so not entirely the fault of this power bank. Although with two USB-C ports, one dedicated to in and the other dedicated to out, this may solve the issue. Overall, the idea behind this power bank is nice with this power station feature and remote control. I just think it's difficult for someone to work around the quirks of this device. With USB-C being bidirectional by standard, charging larger devices like laptops and tablets can be really unreliable. However, the power station functionality with the remote control is a great feature to give remote control access to devices such as lights and fans. Check out the link in the video description where you can learn more and purchase this product. Thanks again to Glydcharge for sending me this product for review. If you found this video to be helpful, give it a like and consider subscribing to my channel. Your support really goes a long way. And as always, thanks for watching.